junior who bats from the right-hand side against the left-hander Shelton working out of the windup. The Mustangs in their home white uniforms with the green caps and the green Cal Poly across the front of the jerseys. First one from Shelton is a fastball downstairs. Here's the 1-0 pitch on Pena. That one catches the outside corner. Here's how the Mustangs line up defensively tonight in their 2017 home opener. Kevin Morgan, Alex McKenna, Josh George left to right in the outfield. Mike Sanderson, Jack Kuzma, Kyle Marincont, and Scott Ogren left to right in the infield as the 1-1 from Shelton over for a strike. So the fourth-year junior southpaw jumps ahead. The count at a ball and 2 strikes, and the battery tonight of Trent Shelton, the left-hander on the hill, and Nick Meyer, the sophomore behind the dish. 1-2 pitch is a fastball off the plate. And the count now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cal State Bakersfield 8-3 this year, 19-37 a year ago, 12-14, finished 7th in the Western Athletic Conference. The 2-2 pitch is off the end of the bat, right behind first. An athletic play on the catch made by Scott Ogren, the true freshman, moving backwards to his left. And Pena is retired for the first out of tonight's contest. Ryan Kono will be the next batter for Cal State Bakersfield. Kono, the true freshman from Mililani, Hawaii, on the island of Oahu, just 3 for 6 this season. Third baseman Anderson playing even with the bag as the first one from the left-hander Shelton is in there for a strike. 0-1 the count. The American flag out in right center field, signaling that the wind here at Baggett Stadium in San Luis Obispo tonight blowing towards the right field foul line. Field dimensions here at Baggett, 335 down the left field side, 335 down the right field side, 385 to the power alleys in left and right center field, and 405 to dead center. As the next one from Shelton misses low. 2 balls and 1 strike on Ryan Kono. True freshman getting the start at shortstop tonight for the Roadrunners. Shelton's 2-1 delivery is cut on and missed. And the count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. David Metzgar, the senior who was a preseason all-WAC selection, stands in the on-deck circle. Here's the 2-2 from Shelton, and it's a cut on and miss. Strike 3 struck him out swinging. The left-hander's first strikeout of the evening. 2 up, 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. And the batter will be the second baseman, David Metzgar. Metzgar's gotten off to a nice start this year, hitting .368. 9 RBIs for the senior. Second team all-WAC last season, hit .305 a year ago, and drove in a team-high 47 RBIs. 5th highest total in the Western Athletic Conference a season ago, those 47 RBIs. As the first one from Shelton is in there for a strike. There comes the 0-1 from the left-hander. Off-speed pitch that missed low and outside. 1-1 the count. There's the 1-1 from Shelton, showing bunt is Metzgar. It's a good one up the third base line. Shelton fields, fires to first base, and it's just in time to get the senior Metzgar running down to the first base line. It's a 1-2-3 inning for the Mustangs as they hold the Roadrunners off the scoreboard here in the top half of the first. 0 for Cal State Bakersfield. Cal Poly's coming on up. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Now the Roadrunners of Cal State Bakersfield go 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning, and the Mustangs, who have been shut out already 3 times this season, will look to get the bats going here in their 2017 home opener. Cal Poly was shut out in its last contest Sunday afternoon at San Diego State, a 2-0 final in that one. Here's the starting 9 that 15th year skipper Larry Lee sends out against the right-hander Garrett Nemo of Cal State Bakersfield. Bradley Beasley, Josh George, Alex McKenna, Kyle Marincons, the second baseman in the cleanup spot. Nick Meyer, the sophomore catcher, hitting 5th. Kevin Morgan, the left fielder, hitting 6th. Scott Ogren, the first baseman, hitting 7th. Michael Sanderson, the senior, at third base, hitting 8th. And Jack Kuzma rounding out the starting lineup for the Cal Poly Mustangs in their 2017 home opener. Bradley Beasley, the right-hand hitting true freshman from San Leandro, getting the start in the designated hitter spot tonight, will lead things off. That's from the right-hand side, righty against righty, and the first one is a breaking ball that runs inside and hits Beasley. So Beasley, who's had a knack for getting on base a lot, a week ago in a win at Santa Clara, set the school Division I record for walks in a game when he drew 5 against the Broncos up at Stephen Schott Stadium in Northern California. Also was hit by a pitch in that one as well. So Beasley aboard on the first pitch from Nemo, who will immediately have to work out of the stretch. Josh George, the junior, will stand in. Starting right fielder tonight for the Mustangs. Bats from the left-hand side. Beasley, a decent size lead over at first base, as the first one into George is in there for a strike. George at 268, 11 games into the year. 3 RBIs, 5 doubles for Josh George, the junior. Hit .306 last year as a sophomore and recorded 15 multi-hit games. 0-1 pitch, sails off the plate, and the count now evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Garrett Nemo, the senior, 0-1 with an ERA of 2.89 this year. Pitched against Cal Poly as a sophomore and picked up a victory back in 2015 against the Mustangs. As the 1-1 pitch is a fastball on the inside corner for a strike. So the senior right-hander jumps ahead of Josh George, the count at 1-2. Now Beasley can certainly fly over there at first base. Jake Ortega, the catcher tonight for Cal State Bakersfield. We'll see how often the Mustangs elect to test him as George pops this one foul. And out of play back behind the Mustangs' third base dugout. So the count will remain at 1-2 strikes with the sophomore center fielder Alex McKenna in the on-deck circle. Just underway from Baggett Stadium, the Mustangs' 2017 home opener. The first of 12 in a row here in San Luis Obispo for Cal Poly. The count 1-2. Nemo comes to the plate, and it's a breaking ball in the inside corner. Got him looking. There's out number 1. So Nemo picks up his first strikeout of the evening. 1 on, 1 out, and the batter will be Alex McKenna. And McKenna, the team leader in batting average coming into tonight's contest. Hitting .325 on the young season. 3 RBIs for the sophomore center fielder. Last year led the Mustangs, a team high 6 home runs, hit .261 a season ago. Did miss 12 games with a leg injury. From Southern California, Beasley takes off. McKenna chops it towards third. Throw across the diamond to first is high, but applying the tag is Max Carter, the first baseman. So McKenna is the second out. Beasley advances 90 feet to second. 2 down in the inning. And the batter will be the second baseman, Kyle Marincons. And defensively, Cal State Bakersfield with Grotjan, Pena, and Valletta left to right in the outfield. Heinrich, Kono, Metzgar, and Carter left to right in the infield. And the battery of Nemo and Ortega, the catcher, to start. So Beasley stands over at second. 2 down here in the bottom of the first. Mustangs looking to strike first. Here in their 2017 home opener, Marincons, the senior second baseman, stands in from the left-hand side, and the first one from the right-hander, Nemo, is in there for a strike. Americans at 205 on the year, 6 runs batted in. Nemo steps off, and the home plate umpire points at him. He just balked. So Nemo got going a little too quick, didn't come set before attempting to come home to Kyle Marincons on the 0-1. So Beasley advances 90 feet to third. And a base hit here would give the Mustangs the first run of tonight's contest. 0-1 pitch on the way to the sophomore Marincons, and it's a breaking ball low and inside. 1-1 the count. Marincons last year a Louisville Slugger freshman All-American. Collegiate Baseball newspaper giving away that award to not only Marincons, but McKenna, who just grounded out to third base a moment ago. So a couple Mustangs were named to that list in 2016 as the 1-1 pitch misses low and outside. 2-1 the count. If Marincons can extend the inning, Nick Meyer, the sophomore catcher, stands in the on-deck circle. Beasley, who was hit by the first pitch he saw to lead off the bottom of the first, now stands over at third with 2 outs. 2-1 pitch on the way. Chopped on over to short. Kono across the diamond to Carter. And the Mustangs continue to leave runners in scoring position early on in 2017. Beasley stranded at third. Nothing across for the Stangs in the home half of the first. We'll head to the top of the second. Scoreless between Cal Poly and Cal State Bakersfield. You're listening to Mustangs Baseball from Learfield. Trent Shelton back out there for his second inning of work. Made quick work of the Cal State Bakersfield Roadrunners in the top half of the first, retiring the side in order through just 13 pitches. Picked up a strikeout. He'll face the middle of the order. Carter, Grotjohn, and Kame due up for the Roadrunners here in the top half of the second. No score in the Mustangs' 2017 home opener. Cal Poly off to a slow start this year, 2-9. Those first 11 contests coming away from San Luis Obispo. Certainly hoping the home field can wake up the bats and get this pitching staff back on track. Like I mentioned earlier, a team ERA of 5.50 coming into tonight's contest. First one to Carter is a fastball upstairs. 1-0 from Shelton is softly tapped towards second. Marincons Fields throws over to Ogren, and that'll be the first out here in the top half of the second inning. 4-3 on the putout. Carter retired, and the batter will be the left fielder, Ryan Grotjohn.
Left fielder, number 9, Ryan Grotjohn.
Grotjohn, the senior, off to a blistering start here in 2017, hitting .410. 6 runs batted in from Scottsdale, Arizona. Digs in from the left-hand side, lefty against lefty. First one from Shelton misses high. And the count at a ball and no strikes. Grotjohn a season ago hit .262 with a home run. Drove in 20. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Line drive foul. This one backing out of play near the Mustang bullpen down the left field side. And the count now evened up at a ball and a strike. There's the 1-1 pitch on the way. Chopped over to second. Marin Cons Fields throws over to first. And that'll be the second out here in the top half of the second inning. Once again, 4-3 on the putout. 2 up, 2 down for the Roadrunners here in the top half of the second. And the batter will be the designated hitter, Tyler Kame. Kame, the junior, 2 hits and 13 at-bats in 2017. Junior college transfer from Folsom Lake College in Northern California. Stands in from the right-hand side, and the first one from Shelton over for a strike. Put out some pretty impressive numbers there. Last year as a sophomore at .341 with a team-high 7 homers, 34 runs batted in as Shelton gets the next one over for a strike. And quickly, the left-hander ahead at 0-2, looking for another 1-2-3 inning. Here in the second, 0-2 pitch on the way, fastball just off the place. And the count at 1-2 strikes. Left-hander ready. The 1-2 pitch on the way is hit out towards shallow center field. On comes McKenna, and on the run, he makes the grab for the third out here in the top half of the second inning. 6 up, 6 down for the Roadrunners. Trent Shelton's done a very nice job in his first 2 innings of work. Bottom half of the second comes your way next. No score between Cal State Bakersfield and Cal Poly, the Mustangs 2017 home opener. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Feels good to be back in San Luis Obispo. The Mustangs playing their 2017 home opener, hosting the Roadrunners of Cal State Bakersfield out of the Western Athletic Conference tonight. Cal Poly was able to get Bradley Beasley all the way to third in the top, or rather the bottom half of the first inning, but left him in scoring position. Nick Meyer will stand in and lead off the home half of the second for the Mustangs. Meyer, Kevin Morgan, and Scott Ogren due up here in the bottom of the second. His first pitch swinging, Meyer taps it foul back behind the plate. 0-1 the count. Garrett Nemo back out there for his second inning of work, senior right-hander. Meyer, the sophomore catcher, takes the 0-1 pitch off the plate. At .244 on the year, Meyer with a home run and 6 RBIs. 2016 Big West Conference Freshman Field Player of the Year in 2016 as the 1-1 catches the bottom part of the strike zone. And Nemo jumps ahead. Had a ball and 2 strikes. Last year, Meyer hit .301 with a home run. Only struck out 13 times in 204 plate appearances a season ago. So not a guy that's going to strike out a whole lot. Nemo's 1-2 pitch, fastball low, and the count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Meyer, in addition to being the Big West Conference Freshman Field Player of the Year last year, was a second-team All-Big West selection. Count even at 2-2. Nemo, the right-hander, comes out of the windup, and the 2-2 pitch is chopped towards the right side of the infield. Metzgar fields, throws over to first. Carter squeezes, and that'll be out number 1 here in the home half of the second. And the batter will be the senior left fielder, Kevin Morgan.
Left fielder number 11, Kevin Morgan.
Morgan, the senior, bats from the left-hand side at 290 on the year, a home run and 3 RBIs for him. In 2016, he hit 269 with a couple homers. Played in 45 games, 26 starts, 17 of those came at the DH spot, but he's out in left field tonight for Larry Lee as the first one from Nemo is off the plate. 1-0 the count. No score with the bases empty and one down here in the bottom of the second. 1-0 pitch is chopped on over to first, but fielded in foul territory by the first baseman Carter. So Morgan will trot back to the batter's box with the count evened up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Garrett Nemo, tonight's starter for Cal State Bakersfield, is a senior. 6 feet, 195-pound right-hander from Temecula, California. Attended Temecula Valley High School down near Riverside County. The Inland Empire, as SoCal folks like to call it, as the 1-1 pitch to Morgan is a nice breaking ball from the right-hander Nemo in there for a strike. And he jumps ahead with the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Morgan batting from the left-hand side, lines one down the left field side foul. That one will bounce out of play, and the count will remain at 1-2. Nemo, a season ago as a junior, led the team in appearances with 23, tying Spencer Messmore's mark for third most in school history. That happened back in Cal State Bakersfield baseball's inaugural season in 2009 as the 1-2 pitch. Tough pitch to foul off, but he did. Down the right field side, Morgan stays alive with a count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nemo, a season ago, only made 2 starts, went 2-5 with a 5.96 ERA. Struck out 25 batters in 54 and a third innings of work. Opponents hit 263 against the right-hander last year. And obviously looking to see some more time on the mound here in his final year with the Roadrunners as the 1-2 pitch, fastball a little bit high. Morgan was able to check his swing in time. And the count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scott Ogren, the true freshman first baseman in the on-deck circle. Right-hander working out of the windup. And the 2-2 pitch on the way. Chopped foul near the Bakersfield first base dugout. Morgan continues to battle. And the count remains at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two and 2 on Kevin Morgan. 1 down, bases empty, bottom of the second. No score between the Roadrunners and Mustangs as the 2-2 pitch misses upstairs, so the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. First full count of tonight's ball game. Here's the payoff pitch on the way. Morgan lines one right to the second baseman, David Metzgar, for the second out here in the bottom of the second. So Morgan stood in there and battled for a while, but Nemo gets him to line out to second. 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the second. And the batter will be the true freshman, Scott Ogren. Ogren off to a slow start in his collegiate career. 3 for 21 at the plate this season with 1 run batted in. Right-hander against right-hander. First one from Nemo is a pitch that misses high. Ogren last spring was drafted 27th, or rather in the 27th round, by the Minnesota Twins out of Valencia High School, where as a senior he hit .412 with 3 homers and 40 runs batted in. So certainly capable of hitting at the plate. Has just gotten off to a slow start against Division I pitching. 1-0 pitch on Ogren is a fastball that'll catch the outside corner. 1-1 the count. Now Valencia out there in the valley near Lancaster and Palmdale. A lot of Lancaster/Palmdale natives on the Cal State Bakersfield roster. Of course, Bakersfield north of those cities, so somewhat close to home for some of those valley natives. As the 1-1 to Ogren misses in the dirt. Nemo's got a new baseball. The 2-1 pitch on the way is cut on and missed. So the count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Right-hander against right-hander. Nemo's 2-2 pitch on the way is a fastball in there. Got him looking. That's the 3rd out here in the bottom of the 2nd. Down go the Mustangs in order as we head to the top of the 3rd. No score between Cal State Bakersfield and Cal Poly. The Mustangs in their 2017 home opener. Scoreless as we head to the top of the 3rd. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Top of the 3rd inning, no score between the visiting Roadrunners from Cal State Bakersfield and the Cal Poly Mustangs. Hosting their first game here in 2017, Baggett Stadium. In its 17th season of operation, opened back on January the 21st of 2001. The Mustangs brought in the new stadium with a win over then number 1 Stanford, 6-5 in 12 innings. Bottom 3rd of the order due up for the Roadrunners here in the top of the 3rd. Valletta, Ortega, and Heinrich to face Trent Shelton, who has yet to allow a base runner through 2 innings of work. First one from the 4th-year junior is fouled back. 0-1 pitch on the way to Valletta. The starting right fielder tonight is off the plate. 1-1 the count. Valletta, the sophomore, hitting .250 on the young season. 2 RBIs, hails from Gilbert, Arizona. As the 1-1 pitch is on the corner for a strike, Shelton jumps ahead. 1-2 the count. There's the 1-2 from the southpaw. Fastball just off the plate. And the count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shelton this past summer played summer ball for the Matsu Miners in the Alaska Baseball League as the 2-2 pitch is foul-tipped into the mitt of Nick Meyer. Valletta goes down swinging. There's the first out of the top of the 3rd. Second strikeout for Shelton. Base is empty, 1 down, and the batter will be the catcher, Jake Ortega. Shelton over the summer in Alaska compiled a 2-0 record with an ERA of 3.50 in 36 innings, struck out 29 batters after sitting out last season. First one from Shelton to the left-handed hitting Ortega misses for a ball. 1-0 the count. Ortega, another sophomore from Mission Viejo, takes a strike. 1-1 the count. Left-hander against left-hander. Ortega at .389 on the young season. 3 runs batted in. Shelton working out of the windup as he has been all evening and delivers the 1-1 pitch on the outside corner for a strike. 1-2 the count. There's the 1-2 pitch from Shelton. Fastball just off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes the count. Now the expectation for Shelton coming into the 2017 season was in a middle relief role out of the bullpen, but with the struggles of these Cal Poly starters early in the year, as Ortega sends a soft liner out towards left field, towards the foul line. There to grab it is Kevin Morgan for the second out here in the top of the 3rd. But Shelton, who's set down the first 8 he's faced tonight, certainly trying to turn the heads of some of these Cal Poly coaches, perhaps. and find his way into a weekend rotation spot. As we've already seen a couple of changes early on in the year with Cal Poly's weekend rotation. As the first one from Shelton to Brandon Heinrich hitting in the 9-hole tonight is cut on and missed. 0-1 the count, base is empty. 2 down here in the top of the third. No score. 0-1 from Shelton, fastball just off the plate. 1-1 the count. Heinrich, the junior, 2 for 15 on the year, a couple of runs batted in. Another junior college transfer seeing a lot of time early on in the season for the Roadrunners as the 1-1 is in there at the knees, 1-2. Heinrich playing in his first season with Cal State Bakersfield, coming on over from Saddleback Junior College in Orange County. 1-2 pitch is cut on and missed, strike 3. So Shelton sets down the side in order again. 9 up, 9 down for Bakersfield through 3. Bottom half of the third inning upcoming. No score between the Mustangs and Roadrunners. You're listening to Mustangs baseball from Learfield. No score as we head to the bottom of the third inning. Cal Poly hosting CSU Bakersfield. The Mustangs 2017 home opener. The Mustangs will send up 9-1-2 here in the home half of the third inning, or rather 8-9-1. Sanderson, Kuzma, and Beasley. Sanderson, the senior third baseman, batting from the right-hand side, stands in and takes the first one from Garrett Nemo for a strike. Next one low and outside. Nemo has done a nice job through 2 innings of work, has yet to give up a base hit. Only base runner reached via the hit by pitch. Hit Bradley Beasley to lead off tonight's game as the 1-1 is chopped right back to the mound. Nemo runs over towards first, underhands to Carter, and that will be out number 1 here in the home half of the third inning, and the batter will be the true freshman shortstop, Jack Kuzma. Kuzma, the true freshman, this will be his 10th at-bat of the season. He's 2 for 9. Bats from the right-hand side, true freshman from Minnetonka, Minnesota. As the first one from Nemo is in at the knees for a strike. 0-1 the count. Here comes the 0-1 from Nemo. Check swing. He did go around. And the count quickly 0-2. And Scott Jones, the home plate umpire tonight, making that call himself. So Nemo jumps ahead in the count, 0-2 on the true freshman Kuza. 0-2 pitch is a fastball just off the plate. And the count now at 1-2 strikes. Right-hander working out of the windup, 1-2 pitch on the way, fastball in the dirt. And the count evened up at 2-2 strikes. After Kuzma, back to the top of the order, Bradley Beasley in the on-deck circle. 2-2 pitch is cut on and missed, strike 3. So Kuzma goes down on strikes for the third time in 10 at-bats this season. 2 up, 2 down for the Stangs in the bottom half of the third. And Bradley Beasley will be the batter. Beasley saw just one pitch to lead off the home half of the first. It was a breaking ball that got away from the right-hander Garrett Nemo. Ran inside and hit the right-handed hitting Beasley on the left shoulder. First one from Nemo, a bit different. Fastball on the outside corner for a strike. Beasley, the true freshman from San Leandro, just outside of Oakland at 237 on the year. He's already drawn 10 walks. He's also driven in a run this season. Takes the next one from the right-hander, low and outside. 1-1 the count. Still looking for our first hit of tonight's contest. 1-1 pitch, popped up, out towards shallow right field. Calling and catching is the second baseman, David Metzger, and it's a 1-2-3, bottom half of the third for Garrett Nemo. Top of the fourth is up next. No score between the Mustangs and Roadrunners. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Both teams scoreless as we enter the top half of the fourth inning. Goose eggs across the board for CSU Bakersfield and Cal Poly. Chris Sylvester here with you. So happy you could join us on a Tuesday night. The Mustangs playing in their 2017 home opener here at Baggett Stadium. The first of 12 in a row in San Luis Obispo for the Mustangs, who are 2-9 on the year, having played their first 11 contests away from the Central Coast. Top third of the order due up for the Roadrunners here in the top of the fourth. Shelton has set down each of the first 9 he's faced. That might change here. Tough chopper towards third. Throw on to first is not going to be in time. It was towards the foul line, backhanded by Michael Sanderson. Had to throw off balance, and on a hop over to first base, Mark Pena, the center fielder, the fourth-year junior, beat it out. So there's our first hit of the night. It's an infield single off the bat of the Bakersfield center fielder. He's aboard to lead things off in the top half of the fourth inning, and the batter will be the shortstop, Ryan Kono. So Shelton, for the first time tonight, will work out of the stretch. First one upstairs. Meyer tries to catch Pena over there at first base, napping. It was dropped on the back pick toss by Ogren, the first baseman. Pitch from Shelton missed high and away. 1-0 the count. And Kono showed bunt. So Sanderson, the third baseman, playing in on the grass. Ogren holding the runner at first, not showing bunt, and swinging through the 1-0 from Shelton is Kono. 1-1 the count. Kono, the true freshman who struck out back in the first inning, shows bunt, gets it down, right back to the mound. Shelton goes to second, and it's not in time. That was awfully close over there at second base, but Pena just beat the throw from the left-hander Shelton. Had to turn all the way around to make that throw to second base. So the Roadrunners have 2 on with nobody out here in the top of the fourth. And here comes David Metzger. Metzger grounded out to first base and is only at bat tonight, back in the first inning. 5th in the WAC last year and runs batted in with 47, has an opportunity to put Bakersfield on the scoreboard first if he is swinging away. Corners are playing in, anticipating the bunt. Metzger, sure enough, does swing away and fouls it straight back to the screen, 0-1. Now, this is a Roadrunner ball club, like we mentioned earlier, with a team batting average of .308 coming into tonight's game. We'll see if Metzger shows bunt on the 0-1. He does not, and it's a pitch that'll catch the outside corner, 0-2. So you'd have to assume now, with Metzger way behind in the count, that the bunt sign, if there ever was one on, certainly off now, as the corner infielder is now playing even with the bag. Sanderson at third, Ogren at first. 2 on, nobody out. 0-2 pitch on the way. Metzger takes the off-speed pitch from Shelton outside. 1-2 the count. Mark Pena led off this top half of the 4th with an infield base hit on a slow chopper towards third. Kono tried to bunt him over. Shelton tried to get the lead runner at second, but the throw was not in time, and he's over at first as the 1-2 pitch misses off the plate. So the count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. CSU Bakersfield looking to strike first with no score here in the top half of the 4th. 2 on, nobody out. So the Mustangs have some action brewing in their bullpen. Throw back to second base, and it's into center field. Running towards third, and he'll get there safely without a throw, is Pena. So Shelton trying to pick off Pena, the runner at second. Instead, airmails it over the head of Marin Kahns, the second baseman, covering. And Pena advances 90 feet to third. Alex McKenna got to that one as Pena was halfway between second and third. No sense in trying to throw it and risk a bad throw getting by the third baseman Sanderson. So now CSU Bakersfield has him on the corners with nobody out. Here's the 2-2 to Metzger off the end of the bat, rolled slowly towards first and fielded in foul territory by Ogren. So the count will remain at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pena, the 4th-year junior, the runner over at third. Kono, the starting shortstop tonight for Bakersfield, over at first. Nobody out, top of the 4th, no score. Shelton had set down the first 9 he faced. Since then has yet to retire anybody. That might help. Shallow center field. On comes McKenna. He'll make the catch. Staying put at third base is Pena, and that's a productive out number 1 for the Mustangs. Unproductive for CSU Bakersfield. Metzger retired for the first out here in the top of the 4th. 1 down, and here comes the cleanup hitter, Max Carter. Carter 0 for 1, led off the top of the 2nd and grounded out to Kyle Marincons, the Mustangs' second baseman. Carter coming into tonight's contest hitting .375 with 6 runs batted in, a 2017 preseason All-Western Athletic Conference selection. He's also a pitcher as well. He's been CSU Bakersfield's best starter this year with a 2-0 mark on the mound and 3 starts, an ERA of .275. Not too many times you see two-way players past the high school level, but both Carter and Malik Jones, who was not in the starting lineup tonight, both succeed at the plate and on the mound as that one's laced towards the gap in left center field. That'll get down for an RBI base hit. Pena comes in to score from third. From first to third goes Kono, and the Roadrunners strike first via an RBI base hit off the bat of Max Carter. So CSU Bakersfield on the board first. Carter drives in his 7th run in 2017, and the Roadrunners still have him at the corners with 1 down, leading 1-0, and the batter will be the left fielder Ryan Grotjohn.
Now batting left fielder Ryan Grotjohn.
So Trent Shelton, who was perfect through the first 3 innings, has certainly gotten himself into some trouble here in the top of the 4th. Already 1 run across. As the first pitch on the way is sent towards right field. Going on back is George. He's not going to get there. That one rolls all the way to the wall. Scoring from third easily will be Kono. Carter being waved around. Throw to the plate is way offline. It's a 2 RBI triple off the bat of Ryan Grotjohn, and Bakersfield is pushed across 3 to lead 3-0 here in the top of the 4th. So Grotjohn comes through. We mentioned he was off to a blistering start at the plate this year, hitting .410 entering tonight's contest. RBI number 7 and 8 for the senior left fielder. His first triple of the season, a native of Scottsdale, and here comes Larry Lee. That might be it for Trent Shelton. 3 across and a runner at third with 1 down here in the top of the 4th. Michael Clark, who was warming in the bullpen, will likely come in for Shelton, who leaves after 3 excellent innings of work, but has gotten himself into some trouble and let 3 runs across here in the top of the 4th. Bakersfield still has Grotjohn over at third with 1 out. We'll step aside. 3-0 Bakersfield on top. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. A pitching change for the Mustangs here in the top of the 4th inning. CSU Bakersfield has pushed across 3 runs to take a 3-0 lead here on the road. Ryan Grotjohn just tripled in 2. He stands over at third with 1 out. The book not yet closed on tonight's starter, Trent Shelton, as he is still responsible for the runner over at third. But at the moment, here's what it looks like. He threw 49 pitches in 3 1/3 inning of work. 3 runs, all earned, 3 hits allowed. He did not walk a batter and struck out 3. Retired the first 9 batters he faced, but CSU Bakersfield starting to figure out the left-hander here in the top half of the 4th. And the new pitcher is the right-hander from Northern California, Michael Clark, the sophomore, who got the start a week ago in the Mustangs' last win at Santa Clara on the road. First one from the right-hander. Sails low and outside, the off-speed pitch. The 1-0 the count. The batter is the designated hitter, Tyler Kame. Looking to push across another for CSU Bakersfield. That one's chopped towards third. Sanderson looked towards the plate, throws to first, and pulls Ogren off the bag. So Grotjohn comes in to score. Kame is safe over at first. That'll be an error charged, you'd have to figure, to the Mustang third baseman, and it is. The second against Cal Poly here in the top of the 4th, and it's 4-0 Bakersfield. So Kame will get credit for the RBI. That'll close the book on the Mustangs starter, Trent Shelton. And Kame aboard via the E6 as that one's chopped slowly towards the middle, under the glove of Marin Khans, the second baseman. Throw to third from McKenna is dropped on the hop by Sanderson. So Kame goes from first to third on the single off the bat of Cole Valletta. And the Roadrunners continue to have success at the plate here in the top of the fourth. Runners on the corners once again for CSU Bakersfield, and the batter will be the catcher, Jake Ortega.
Catcher, Jake Ortega.
Well, defense certainly a problem for the Mustangs early on in the season. Now 19 errors, and this is just game number 12. Ortega bats from the left-hand side. That one chopped towards the middle, fielded by the true freshman Kuzma. Goes under his glove. Everybody's safe. The third error of the inning. Coming in to score from third is Kame. It's 5-0 Bakersfield. And Ortega reaches first via the error. The Mustangs will bring the entire infield together on the mound. Bakersfield, who had not reached base, the Roadrunners were held at bay in the first 3 innings of tonight's contest, have broken this one open a bit in the top of the fourth. 5 runs, 4 hits, 3 Mustang errors. And looking for more, first and second, 1 out. The batter is the third baseman, Brandon Heinrich. Right-hander against right-hander. The first pitch misses low. Heinrich struck out his last time up in the third. Heinrich, the junior transfer from Saddleback College, takes the 1-0 from Clark on the outside corner for a strike. 1-1 the count. Well, unless there's an inning-ending double play off the bat of Heinrich right now, the Roadrunners will bat around. Pena, who got this started with an infield base hit, stands in the on-deck circle. And we warned you early on about how great the Roadrunners have done at the plate this year as a team. 308 coming in. Second time around the order. Boy, have they had success. 2-1 pitch from Clark is high. And now the right-handers in danger of walking the bases loaded here. With 1 out in the top of the fourth, Bakersfield has already pushed across 5 for a 5-0 lead. First and second, 1 down. Here comes the 3-1 from Clark. Runners take off, and it's fouled back behind the plate. So the count will run full at 3 balls and 2 strikes, and wouldn't be surprised to see the runners in motion once again with the count now full. 3-2 the count. Clark, the right-hander, comes set at the belt and steps off the mound. Both runners retreat to their respective bags. 3-2 the count. Right-hander comes set at the belt once again. Here's the payoff pitch. Runners stay put, and it's grounded towards the right side of the infield, into right field for a base hit. Stopping at third base is Valletta. 5th hit of the inning for the Roadrunners. They're loaded with 1 down, and back to the top of the order. Mark Pena, the 4th-year junior, will be the batter.
Center fielder Mark Pena.
Pena began what has been a disastrous top of the fourth for the Mustangs. with a slow chopper backhanded by the third baseman Sanderson. His throw off balance to first was not in time. His second at bat of the inning. Roadrunners have batted around. First pitch swinging. He comes up empty. Breaking ball from Clark. 0-1 the count. And despite the 3 errors in the inning, 4 of these 5 runs have been earned. All 4 being charged to tonight's starter, Trent Shelton, the left-hander. As the 0-1 pitch misses low and outside. 1-1 the count. Valletta, the runner at third. Ortega at second. Heinrich at first. Here's the 1-1 pitch showing bunt. And pulling it back in time to take ball 2 is Pena. 2-1 the count. Cal State Bakersfield looking to break this one wide open here in the top of the 4th. Here's the 2-1 from Clark. Swing and a miss. Pena that time chased what would have been ball 3. But instead, the count now evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Bases loaded, 1 down. Top of the 4th, already 5-0 Bakersfield. Roadrunners looking for more. Right-hander comes set at the belt. The 2-2 pitch, fastball off the plate. And the count runs full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. So Clark has to throw a strike if he wants to avoid walking in what would be the 6th run of the inning. Sophomore right-hander comes set. Payoff pitch on the way, and it's swung on and missed strike 3. Well, the Mustangs needed that. Pena retired for a second time tonight. 2 down in the inning. And the batter will be the shortstop, Ryan Kono.
Shortstop Ryan Kono.
Kono, earlier in the inning, attempted to lay down a sacrifice bunt. Shelton, the pitcher at the time, tried to go to second to get the lead runner, and everybody was safe. First pitch swinging, chopped slowly. Clark with an athletic play back behind the mound towards second, able to glove it and throw on over to first for the final out here in the top of the 4th. But CSU Bakersfield gets 5, and as we head to the bottom half of the inning, 5-0 Roadrunners. You're listening to Mustangs baseball from Learfield.
Looks like we've got a winner.
CSU Bakersfield gets 5 in the top half of the 4th. They have a 5-0 lead over the Cal Poly Mustangs in their 2017 home opener. Bakersfield able to chase the Mustang starter Trent Shelton in the top half of the 4th inning. 5 runs, 5 hits, and the Mustangs committed 3 errors, leading to the first 5 runs of tonight's game. Next pitch on the way to George is chopped on over to second base. Metzger over to Carter, and that'll be out number 1. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, the batter will be Alex McKenna. A long layover in between innings
Center fielder
for
Alex
Bakersfield's
McKenna.
starter, Garrett Nemo. He's done a very nice job tonight. The Mustangs have been held hitless now through 3 1/3. Alex McKenna, the batter. Sophomore center fielder grounded out to third base back in the first inning. He's 0 for 1. First one from Nemo. He comes in there with the breaking pitch on the inside corner for a strike. 0-1 the count. Oh, 1 pitch on the way. Fastball misses below the knees. 1-1 the count. McKenna, the only batter in the Mustangs starting 9 tonight, hitting over 300 on the year. Here's the 1-1 pitch from Nemo. Pitch misses high. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Tell Zach or Connor to get some for you, or you can go in yourself. Actually, they're supposed to get it for you. No, you're supposed to get snapped. They need to get used to it.
Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way. McKenna in and out down the right field side. That's going to drop in for a base hit. McKenna looking to go to second. Throw on the way is not in time. Cut off by the second baseman Metzger, and the Mustangs have their first hit of tonight's game, a 1-out double the other way off the bat of Alex McKenna. A great piece of hitting by the sophomore center fielder. Got a pitch on the inside part of the plate and took it the other way. So McKenna's aboard with 1 out. He's in scoring position at second. And Kyle Marincons will be the batter. Marincons, the sophomore second baseman, who grounded out to shortstop back in the first inning. First pitch on the way. He fouls that one straight back to the screen. 0-1 the count. Now getting runners on base hasn't been the biggest issue for this Mustang team through 11 games and now 12. It's been getting those runners to the plate as Marincons fouls that one back behind the plate. 0-2 the count. So we'll see if McKenna's double, Cal Poly's first hit of the night, can warm up the bats. Perhaps the second time around the order for the Mustangs will be successful, just as Bakersfield's second time around the order was against Trent Shelton. 0-2 pitch on the way to Marincons, misses high. 1-2 the count. McKenna, the runner at second, 1 down in the bottom of the fourth. 5-0, CSU Bakersfield on top. Nemo comes set. 1-2 pitch on the way to Marincons. Hit hard and through into right field for a base hit. From second comes McKenna. Throw to the plate is cut off, and the Mustangs are on the board. Kyle Marincons delivers with the RBI base hit. 5-1 CSU Bakersfield. 7th RBI of the year for the sophomore second baseman. So 1 on, 1 out. Nick Meyer will be the batter. And the Mustangs scoring their first run since Saturday at San Diego State. They were shut out in Sunday's finale against the Aztecs, 2-0. But back on the board here in the bottom of the fourth. 5-1 Roadrunners. Quick pickoff toss over to first base. Keep in mind, Nemo, the starter, here in the fourth for the first time since the first inning, working out of the stretch. First one on Meyer, shows bunt and bunts it back to the screen. 0-1 the count. Nick Meyer, the excellent sophomore catcher, 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out to second in his only at-bat back in the bottom of the second. Marincons, the runner at first. 1 out, bottom of the fourth, 5-1 Bakersfield. Right-hander against right-hander. 0-1 pitch on the way is chopped foul at the plate.
Okay, so now we just gotta write in their positions. Can you do that? You just write in their positions and then you can practice the name.
So Nemo jumps ahead, nothing in 2 the count.
Figure it out. You guys are smart. You're Cal Poly students.
Oh, and 2 the count on Nick Meyer. Josh George led off this inning with a ground out to second. Alex McKenna followed with a double down the right field side. Marin Cons with an RBI base hit to right to get the Mustangs on the scoreboard here in the bottom of the 4th as the 0-2 pitch misses just outside. A ball and 2 strikes on the sophomore catcher, Kevin Morgan, the senior left fielder in the on-deck circle for the Stangs. This will be pitch number 53 tonight from the right-hander Nemo. Another pickoff toss on over to first base. Marin Cons dives back in there safely. The count still at a ball and 2 strikes on Meyer. There's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Chopped towards the left side of the infield, fielded by the third baseman Heinrich. He goes to second for 1. Throw on to first is not going to be in time. 2 outs in the inning. Meyer aboard via the fielder's choice. And the batter will be the senior Kevin Morgan.
Left fielder, Kevin Morgan.
Morgan 0 for 1, lined out to second. And his only at-bat of the night back in the bottom of the second inning. So Meyer now the runner over at first. Morgan stands in from the left-hand side, and the first one from Nemo is upstairs for a ball. Cal Poly, the preseason number 4 coming out of the Big West Conference, picked to finish in 4th place behind Cal State Fullerton, picked to finish first, and UC Santa Barbara, along with Long Beach State, picked to finish in a tie for second place in the conference as the 1-0 pitch to Morgan misses downstairs. 2-0 the count. Long Beach State, the Dirtbags, taking 2 of 3 in Chapel Hill against North Carolina this past weekend. North Carolina, a top 10 team coming into the college baseball season this year as Morgan waves and misses at the 2-0. 2-1 the count. And we'll get you scores from other games on a beautiful Tuesday night. First Tuesday of the month of March. Another throw over to first base. Meyer dives back in there safely. 2-1 the count. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Morgan in the dirt. Gets away from the catcher Ortega. Sprinting over to second. Throw down there is not going to be in time. Meyer with the awareness to advance 90 feet. Ortega, the catcher, was able to keep that one in front of him. But Meyer had a pretty good sized lead over at first base, and the second he saw it in the dirt, went on over to second. The throw was not in time. That'll be a wild pitch thrown by Garrett Nemo. And all of a sudden, a base hit could pull the Mustangs within 3. There's the 3-1 pitch on Morgan. Chopped towards first. Tough hop fielded by Carter. He'll solo to the bag, and that'll be the final out of the inning. Mustangs get 1 on the RBI base hit off the bat of Kyle Marincons. Top of the 5th comes your way next. 5-1, CSU Bakersfield on top. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Cal Poly gets one, but that's all in the bottom of the fourth inning. 5-1 CSU Bakersfield on top as we get set to begin the top half of the fifth. Michael Clark, the sophomore right-hander who retired the final two outs of the top of the fourth, back out there to begin the top of the fifth. Couple of defensive changes that we'll pass along to you in just a moment for the Mustangs. Brett Benning, the transfer from Auburn, has replaced Jack Kuzma over at shortstop. Kuzma, the true freshman, committed an error back in the top of the fourth inning. So Benning, the senior, in. Kuzma, the true freshman, out. Benning, the new shortstop. As Clark gets back to work, first pitch misses upstairs for a ball. 3, 4, and 5 due up for CSU Bakersfield in the top of the fifth. Metzger, Carter, and Grotjohn. There's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Waved at and missed. 1-1 the count, as promised in the bottom of the fourth. Scores from around the Big West Conference. Number 11, Cal State Fullerton, the preseason favorite in the Big West Conference, trails on the road in Tempe. 4-2 Arizona State on top. That game in the top of the fifth as the 1-1 pitch is lined softly out towards right field. That's going to drop in front of George for a leadoff base hit. So Metzger is aboard to start the top of the fifth, and the batter will be the cleanup hitter, Max Carter. UC Irvine in Los Angeles tonight. The Anteaters with a 2-0 lead over the Loyola Marymount Lions, who the Mustangs will welcome in for a 3-game set starting on Friday night here at Baggett Stadium. 2-0 Irvine in that one, bottom of the fourth inning at LMU. Holy Cross and Riverside, Highlanders with the best record entering tonight's action in the Big West at 8-3. That game all tied at 2 in the bottom of the third. From the Plex in Riverside is the first one to the right-handed hitting Carter is off the plate, 1-0. Cal State Northridge, who beat UCLA in the Valley last week, now at UCLA this Tuesday night, and it's the Bruins with a 4-0 lead in that one. Bottom of the third inning from Jackie Robinson Stadium. Cal Poly will see both of those teams later on in the season. Obviously, Cal State Northridge in the Big West Conference, and Mustangs will travel down to Westwood for a 3-game set in April as well. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way to Carter, hit towards the right side of the infield. That's going to sneak into right field for a base hit. So back-to-back singles for Bakersfield here to open up the top of the fifth against the right-hander Clark. 2 on, nobody out, and the batter will be Ryan Grotjohn. And finally, of course, this one tonight inside Baggett Stadium, the fifth contest, including a Big West Conference team on this Tuesday night. The Mustangs looking to end a 3-game skid, but at the moment, CSU Bakersfield with a 5-1 lead here in the top of the fifth. 2 on, nobody out. The batter is Ryan Grotjohn. Grotjohn, a 2-run triple his last time up. Bats from the left-hand side and lines that one foul just above the Mustang third base dugout. 0-1 the count. Grotjohn 1 for 2 tonight. Metzger started the inning with an RBI, or rather a line drive single into right field. That was followed up by the Carter ground ball base hit to right field as Clark throws back to second base. Metzger dives back in there safely. 0-1 the count on Ryan Grotjohn, the left fielder. And Grotjohn, like we mentioned a couple of times already, Bakersfield best hitter coming in batting average-wise as he rolls this one to short. Benning the short way to second for 1, on to first. A nice dig over there made by Ogren. It's a 6-4-3 double play, 2 outs in the inning. Metzger advances to third. 2 down, though, and the batter will be Tyler Kane. So Benning, who just entered the ball game here in the top half of the 5th inning. Makes an immediate impact defensively. Kuzma committed one of 3 Mustang errors in the top half of the 4th, but Binning able to scoop up that one, flip it to Marincons for the first out, and Marincons threw it on over to first base where Ogren made a fantastic dig for the 6-4-3 twin killing. First pitch on the DH came, misses low. 1-0 is upstairs for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. Two and 0 the count. Right-hander against right-hander. 2-0 pitch is off the plate. And Clark has fallen behind here. The count at 3 balls and no strikes. Right-hander ready. 3-0 pitch on the way. Fastball on the outside corner. 3-1. 5-1 Roadrunners here in the top of the 5th. Runner at third, 2 down. That one chopped right back to the mound. Nice grab by Clark. Clark will solo to the bag, and that will end the inning. Not too many times you'll see a pitcher run on over to first base himself, but whatever it takes for a Mustang team that has struggled defensively early on in the season. Nothing across for Bakersfield after back-to-back singles to open up the inning. Bottom half of the 5th is next. 5-1 Roadrunners. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Garrett Nemo, the right-handed hurler, the senior, back out there for his 5th inning of work. 5-1 CSU Bakersfield on top of Cal Poly as we get going here in the home half of the 5th. Bottom third of the order due up. Ogren, Sanderson, and Binning for the Mustangs. First one to Ogren is cut through and missed. 0-1 the count. Next pitch on the way. Another swing and a miss. Nemo jumps ahead quickly. 0-2 the count. Ogren struck out looking in his only plate appearance back in the 2nd. 0-2 pitch on the way is chopped slowly towards short. Coming in to get it is Kono, and it skips off of his glove. He's not going to have a play. That'll be an error against the CSU Bakersfield shortstop. The Mustangs, for the 2nd time tonight, have their leadoff man aboard. And the batter will be Michael Sanderson, the senior. Sanderson hitting .256 coming into tonight's contest with a couple RBIs. Grounded out back to the mound, his only time up in the 3rd inning. Takes the first one from Nemo upstairs. That error committed by Kono, the shortstop, the first of the night that the Roadrunners have committed. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. In the dirt, gets between the wickets of the catcher Ortega, and easily moving up 90 feet to second is Ogren. Second wild pitch thrown by Nemo tonight. Count now 2-0 on Sanderson. Ogren, the runner at second, nobody out. Bottom of the fifth, 5-1 Roadrunners. That one hit back towards the middle. Past the outstretched glove of Metzger, being waved home. Is the runner coming to the plate, Ogren. It's an RBI base hit off the bat of Michael Sanderson, and it's 5-2 Bakersfield.
Now batting, shortstop, number 7, Brett.
So Sanderson drives in his third run of the year, and the error comes back to haunt the Roadrunners, committed by Kono. That was followed by the wild pitch. And now the RBI base hit off the bat of Sanderson. So the Mustangs, who are held at bay in the first 3 innings of tonight's game, have struck for a run now in the bottom of the fourth and one here in the bottom of the fifth. Still nobody out. Sanderson, the runner at first. Interim head coach Jeremy Beard, who also serves as the pitching coach in his second season with the Roadrunners, out to the mound to pay a visit to the right-hander. There is action in the Roadrunner pen, but Nemo will remain in the game. Jeremy Beard, former pitcher at Oregon State in the mid-90s, immediately began his coaching career in Corvallis a year after graduating, before a 3-year stint as a head coach at the high school level for Central Catholic in Portland. That was his only prior head coach experience before taking over this Bakersfield program in December, very late into the offseason, just 2 months before the start of the year. Bakersfield firing head coach Bob Macaluso, who only served as the skipper for the Roadrunners for 1 season last year. So this is the 3rd different head coach that Bakersfield has had in as many seasons. Before that, it was Bill Kernan, who had coached the team since the baseball program was founded in 2009. Of course, Kernan might be a familiar name to those who follow Big West baseball, former head coach at Cal State Northridge and former assistant at Cal State Fullerton. Cal State Bakersfield is expected to open up a search for a new head coach after the season, so if Beard doesn't retain the position and have the interim tag removed, there could very well be 4 different head coaches in 4 seasons for Bakersfield, as successfully getting down the sacrifice bunt and advancing the runner Sanderson to second is Binning, the senior shortstop. So 1 down here in the bottom of the 5th. Back to the top of the order, Bradley Beasley will be the batter. Beasley 0 for 1 tonight, was hit by a pitch in his first plate appearance, leading off in the bottom of the 1st, and popped out to second base back in the 3rd. Beasley has driven in 1 run this season, a base hit here. Could get in Sanderson, who stands at second, as the first one. So the true freshman is up and inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Check swing, pitch inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Scott Ogren, the Mustang first baseman, led off this inning with a ground ball to short that was not fielded cleanly by Kono, the shortstop. He advanced 90 feet to second on a wild pitch. Sanderson drove him in with a base hit to center field. That was followed by the sacrifice bunt laid down in the last at-bat by Brett Binning, as the 2-0 pitch misses low and outside here to Beasley. The count at 3 balls and no strikes, with Josh George in the on-deck circle. 3-0 the count. Nemo comes set. There's the 3-0 pitch on the way to Beasley. Fastball at the knees, 3-1. 5-2. The Roadrunners on top. Mustangs looking to cut into the deficit. Sanderson stands at second. 1 out here in the bottom of the 5th. 3-1. The count. Bradley Beasley at the plate. Here's the 3-1 offering. Rolled towards third. It's going to be a tough play for Heinrich. Throws across the diamond to first, and it's just in time to get the speedy Beasley for out number 2. Sanderson stays put at second. 2 down in the inning, and the batter will be Josh George. George 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out looking back in the first and grounded out to second. Last time up in the 4th. Junior bats from the left-hand side.
You might be the first ever junior announcer in Dragon City. You can put that on your resume.
As Nemo steps off. Nemo could be nearing the end of his night. Has to go 5 to qualify for a win. This will be pitch number 73 from the right-hander. First one on George is at the bottom of the strike zone apparently for a strike. 0-1 the count. Looked a bit low from here, but what do we know? Sanderson at second. 2 outs. Nemo's 0-1 pitch. Ground ball, base hit into left field. Sanderson's going to be waved home. Bobbling out there and left is Gratchon. He's not going to have a play. An RBI base hit off the bat of Josh George, and it's 5-3 Bakersfield.
Now batting, center fielder.
4th RBI of the season for Josh George, and the batter will be Alex McKenna. Fourth hit of the night for the Mustangs. And the second run that Cal Poly has pushed across here in the home half of the 5th. So Alex McKenna at the plate, team leader in homers last year with 6. And boy, wouldn't the Mustangs love one here. First one from Nemo misses a bit inside, 1-0 the count. McKenna 1 for 2 tonight, doubled his last time up in the 4th, came around to score on the Marincon's base hit. And that looks like it'll be it for Nemo. Jeremy Beard on his way out. For whatever reason, let him throw 1 to McKenna. But that will be it for the right-hander, unable to qualify for the win tonight. We have a pitching change for the Roadrunners. Here in the bottom of the 5th, 5-3 CSU Bakersfield on top. The Mustangs have Alex McKenna representing the tying run at the plate when we return. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Now Garrett Nemo is done after 4 2/3 out of the mound. He is still responsible for the runner Josh George over at first base. The count is 1-0 on Alex McKenna. New pitcher is the sophomore right-hander Isaiah Moten, who's 2-1 this year with an ERA of 2.87. Right-hander against right-hander. First one, or rather second pitch to McKenna. First one from Moten is a fastball inside. So the count now at 2 balls and no strikes. George with a short lead over at first. Here's the 2-0 pitch on the way. That one fouled back to the screen. McKenna right on that one. 2-1 the count.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I messed that one up.
5-3 Bakersfield. Here in the bottom of the 5th, Mustangs have already pushed 2 across this half inning. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way to McKenna. In the dirt, nice stop made by the catcher Ortega. But now Moten falls behind with a count at 3 balls and 1 strike. 3-1 the count. Right-hander ready. Next pitch on the way. McKenna chops it foul. Back behind the plate, and the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. George will be moving on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th. If McKenna can extend the inning, Kyle Marincons would be next. 3-2 the count. Here's the payoff pitch on the way. Popped foul. This one backing out of play. So the 7th pitch of the at-bat coming. With the count full on Alex McKenna. George, the runner at first. He takes off. Here's the payoff pitch again, and once again McKenna right on it. Fouls it straight back to the screen. 8th pitch of the at-bat upcoming. The count will remain full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Isaiah Moten, the 6'1 sophomore, right-hander, also from Temecula, just as Nemo, the starter, was. As the 3-2 pitch is a fastball just off the plate, ball 4, and Moten can't believe it. Boy, that one was a bit closer than a few of the strike calls made by the home plate umpire tonight, but nonetheless, McKenna walks, and all of a sudden the Mustangs have the tying run aboard. 2 on, 2 outs. The batter is Kyle Marincons. Marincons 1 for 2, an RBI single to right field his last time up in the 4th. Here's the first one from Moten. Fastball inside corner for a strike. So George now at second, McKenna at first. Moten last year, as a freshman, about halfway through the year, became the Friday night starter for Bakersfield. Started 6 times, appeared in 18 games, finished 3-3 with an ERA of 5.20. Had 1 complete game and 1 save as the 0-1 pitch gets behind the catcher Ortega. And look at this. The Mustangs now have the tying run in scoring position. George advances 90 feet to third. McKenna now at second. And the count 1-1 on Marincons. A base hit here could tie the score at 5. Last year, Moten 53 2/3 innings. Struck out 26 batters. Opponents hit 243 against him. There's the 1-1 to Marincons. Pitch misses low. 2-1 the count. Moten coming out of high school is a really good get for CSU Bakersfield, ranked in the top 250 as far as pitching prospects are concerned in the state of California by perfect game, as the 2-1 pitch is a high pop fly, about a mile high out into shallow right. Second baseman Metzger towards the foul line is going to call for it and squeeze it for the final out here in the bottom of the 5th. Mustangs get 2. They trail by 2 as we head to the 6th. 5-3 CSU Bakersfield on top. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. The sophomore right-hander Michael Clark back out there for another inning of work. 5-3 CSU Bakersfield on top as we get set to start the top of the 6th inning. Chris Sylvester here with you. It's Cal Poly's 2017 season opener at Baggett Stadium, the first of 12 in a row here in San Luis Obispo. Mustangs will welcome in LMU this weekend, followed by a Monday night contest against Gonzaga. And that'll be followed up by a 3-game set against the Shockers of Wichita State. Mustangs went to Wichita last year and took 2 of 3 from the Shockers. And to wrap up the homestand, the Mustangs will welcome in Nebraska and former Angel Darren Erstad for a 4-game series here in San Luis Obispo. A Thursday night game, a Friday night game, and a doubleheader on that Saturday before hitting the road to open up conference play at the end of the month in Irvine against UCI. Bottom third of the order due up for Bakersfield here in the top of the 6th as Clark has missed badly with his first 2 offerings. That one sailed above the head of Meyer, the catcher, and went to the backstop. 2-0 the count. Valletta, Ortega, and Heinrich here in the top of the 6th. There's the 2-0 pitch off the end of the bat out towards shallow left and in for a base hit. Valletta takes a big turn around first and holds right there with the leadoff base hit to start the 6th. That one just out of the reach of Brett Binning, the Mustang shortstop. Second single of the night off the bat of the right fielder Valletta. And Jake Ortega, the catcher, will be the next batter. And here comes Larry Lee. And that might be it for Clark. Looks like it will be. Larry pulls out the score sheet. Valletta aboard with nobody out here in the top of the 6th. And we have a pitching exchange from Baggett Stadium. 5-3, CSU Bakersfield on top. Roadrunners still at the plate when we return. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Craig Colin is the new pitcher, and first pitch swinging Ortega lifts one foul and out of play down the left field side. Michael Clark went an inning and 2/3, still responsible for Valletta, the runner over at first base. Threw 32 pitches, gave up 5 hits, 1 run. It was not earned, struck out 1, and did not issue a walk. Sanderson, the third baseman, playing in on the grass. 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball low, 1-1 the count. Colin, the sophomore, has pitched in 2 games this year, 2 1/3 innings of work. Has yet to give up a run. A couple hits allowed. He's also struck out 2 batters. Hails from San Francisco. Pickoff toss over to first. Back in there safely is Valletta, who led off this top half of the 6th with a soft line drive base hit into left field as Meyer, the catcher, calls time. 5-3 CSU Bakersfield on top here in the top of the 6th. Roadrunners coming into tonight's game at 8-3 on the year, looking to continue their hot start after finishing 18 games under the 500 mark a season ago. Here's the 1-1 pitch, showing bunt, pulling back and taking one just below the knees is Ortega. 2-1 the count. Short lead for Valletta, the runner over at first. Colin, the right-hander, out of the stretch, and another pickoff toss over to first base. We'd like to remind you that today's game is being brought to you by Big Brand Tire, Cal Poly Bookstore, Cal Poly Corp., Campus Dining, Dignity Health, Idlers, Pismo Beach Outlets, Rabobank, Seacrest, Valpak, Valencia Firestone, Bank of America, and Cypress Ridge, all proudly bringing you Cal Poly's 2017 home opener tonight at Baggett Stadium. CSU Bakersfield struck for 5 in the top half of the 4th, but since then the Mustangs have slowly but surely chipped into this lead. Another pickoff toss over to first, that one a little closer. Just getting the hand back in there is Valletta. Count remains at 2-1. Mustangs scored 1 on an RBI base hit off the bat of Marin Cons to get on the board in the bottom of the 4th and pushed across a couple in the bottom half of the 5th. Chasing the Bakersfield starter, Nemo. Pitch out, off the plate, a back pick to first from Meyer, not in time. And Colin has fallen behind on Ortega, the count at 3 balls and 1 strike. Now, very rarely do you see a pitch out on 2-1. But the Mustangs elected to do it there. And now the count 3-1 on Ortega. Catcher bats from the left-hand side and lifts it foul and out of play down the left side. So the count now will run full at 3-2. We'll see if Jeremy Beard, first-year interim head coach for the Roadrunners, elects to send Valletta with the count at 3-2. There he goes. 3-2 pitch is lined softly down the left field side, chasing and unable to get there, but it drops in foul territory. Is the left fielder Kevin Morgan. So Valletta will jog back to first base. 7th pitch of the at-bat coming. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the next pitch on the way. Valletta does not go. Rolled towards short. Bending to second for 1. On to first. It's a double play. Second 6-4-3 twin killing that the Mustangs infield has rolled tonight. 2 down. The base is empty. And the batter will be the third baseman, Brandon Heinrich. Now Kuzma, the true freshman, started over there at short. Made a critical error in that top half of the 4th where Bakersfield scored all 5 of their runs. Binning, the senior who started his collegiate career at Auburn, has come in and done a very nice job defensively. 1-0 pitch on the way to Heinrich is waved at and missed. 1-1 the count. Craig Colin on the mound, 6'3", 200-pound sophomore as he blows that one by Heinrich. Cut on and missed again. 1-2 the count. Went to Lowell High School in San Francisco. Last year as a true freshman, appeared in 14 games. No record, a 2.73 ERA as he strikes out Heinrich swinging to end the inning. Bottom of the 6th comes your way next. 5-3 CSU Bakersfield on top. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Bottom of the 6th, 5-3 CSU Bakersfield on top. Cal Poly's 2017 home opener here at beautiful Baggett Stadium. Pretty good crowd on hand to catch the Mustangs in action on a Tuesday night for the first of 2 meetings between Cal Poly and CSU Bakersfield this season. Nick Meyer stands in to lead off the home half of the 6th. Meyer, Morgan, and Ogren due up here in the 6th inning. Facing the right-hander, Isaiah Moten, the sophomore from Temecula. His first one to Meyer is in there for a strike. Right-hander working out of the windup for the first time tonight as Meyer shoots this one back towards the mound and into center field for a base hit. So Meyer, the sophomore who went to Santa Margarita High School down in Orange County, is aboard to lead off the home half of the 6th, and the batter will be Kevin Morgan. Second time that Meyer has been on tonight. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the 4th. Here's Kevin Morgan, the left fielder. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Lined out to second and grounded out to first. Senior bats from the left-hand side. First pitch swinging, pops this one foul, and back out of play. 0-1 the count. Cal Poly, one of 5 Big West Conference schools in action tonight. We'll get you score updates once again from those in just a moment as the 0-1 pitch misses in the dirt. 1-1 the count. And of course, Cal Poly women's basketball in the quarterfinal round of the Big West Conference tournament tonight inside the Walter Pyramid down in Long Beach, taking on the University of Hawaii Rainbow Wahine. We'll join Max Melander, more than likely in progress for the call down in Long Beach. Once this one is all said and done. Next pitch on Morgan misses low. Here's the 2-1 from Moten. Popped in the air out towards shallow left. Coming a long way in is Grotchan. He calls for it. He'll make the catch. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Meyer retreats back to first. 1 down here in the 6th. And the batter is Scott Ogren. Ogren, the true freshman, getting the start at first base tonight for Larry Lee and the Stangs. Got the rally ignited last half inning when he reached on an error committed by the Bakersfield shortstop Ryan Kono. First pitch on him misses off the plate from Moten, 1-0 the count. Next pitch on the way, chopped slowly towards the left side of the mound. Moten a long way over to get it, but it was off of the foot of Ogren. Late signal from the home plate umpire ruling that that one hit off the foot of Ogren. So after all that, just a foul ball, and the count evened up at 1-1. Going back to talking about the Big West Conference tournament in hoops, it's March Madness time. Cal Poly men's basketball will be playing the first of 4 quarterfinal games at the Honda Center in Anaheim on Thursday, taking on UC Davis. A noon tip-off expected for that one. The Mustangs and Aggies split the regular season series. Next one into Ogren, called a strike. 1-2 the count. Meyer a short lead over at first. Here's the 1-2 pitch, grounded towards short. Como fields that one on the backhand, goes to second for one, on to first. It's an inning-ending 6-4-3 double play. Ogren rolls into the twin killing. Top half of the 7th is next. 5-3, CSU Bakersfield on top. This is Mustangs baseball from Learfield. Top of the 7th, 5-3. CSU Bakersfield on top. Chris Sylvester here with you. So happy you could join us on a Tuesday night. The Mustangs, one of 5 Big West Conference teams in action tonight. We'll get you score updates from around the Big West Conference right now. Cal State Fullerton, the 11th ranked team in the country, preseason favorite to win the conference for a second straight year. All tied now in Tempe between the Titans and Sun Devils of Arizona State. It's a 4-4 contest in the bottom of the 6th. Loyola Marymount has taken the lead over UC Irvine. LMU will come to San Luis Obispo for a 3-game set this weekend. They lead Irvine 5-2. That game in the top of the 5th. Holy Cross and Riverside still tied at 2 in the top of the 5th in that one as well. Northridge on the board at Jackie Robinson Stadium. UCLA 4-2 lead in the top of the 5th in that one. Top of the 7th here, 5-3 Bakersfield. They have not trailed, scoring 5 in the top of the 4th. The Mustangs have slowly but surely chipped into the lead, but still trail at the moment and have 9 outs to try and come on back in this one. Colin, the right-hander, who came in for Michael Clark last inning, out there to begin the 7th, missed with the first 2. Next one in there for a strike. Top third of the order due up for Bakersfield here in the 7th. This is Pena, the center fielder, at the plate as the 2-1 from Colin misses. 3 balls and 1 strike to count. Pena, Kono, and Metzger due up for the Roadrunners. Right-hander working out of the windup. 3-1 pitch is high, ball 4. So 5-pitch walk issued to Pena to open up the top of the 7th. He's aboard, and the batter will be Ryan Kono, the shortstop. Michael Sanderson, the third baseman for the Mustangs, playing in on the grass, anticipating a potential bunt attempt. Kono 0 for 3 tonight. A strikeout in the first. Grounded into a fielder's choice, or rather bunted into a fielder's choice as he bunts here. Meyer fields in foul territory, and that'll be the first strike. Did come around to score after reaching on the fielder's choice back in the 4th. And grounded out to the mound back in the 5th inning. That was when Clark, the pitcher, soloed to the bag over at first. Here's the 0-1 pitch showing bunt, pulling back and taking ball 1. Another back pick to first made by the catcher, Meyer. Diving back in there safely is Pena. 1-1 the count. There comes the next one, showing bunt again, and getting it down is Kono. Right back to the mound. Throw on to first base from Colin to Ogren is in time. So the Bakersfield shortstop, Ryan Kono, gets down the sacrifice bunt. Pena advances 90 feet to second. 1 down in the inning, and the batter will be David Metzger.
Second baseman David Metzger.
So Kono gets down the sacrifice bunt. And here's Metzger. The senior second baseman. First one from Colin is a breaking ball in the dirt. Nice stop made by the catcher, Meyer. 1-0 the count. Metzger 1 for 3 tonight, singled his last time up. There's the 1-0 pitch on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Metzger grounded out back to the mound in the first. Popped out to center in the 4th and singled to right his last time up in the 5th. Right-hander against right-hander. The 1-1 pitch on the way. Head out towards left center field. McKenna moving to his right is going to make the catch. Tagging from second is Pena. Here comes the throw to third. It's not going to be in time. Heads up decision by the 4th-year junior to test Alex McKenna, who was in medium left center field to make the catch that time. So a runner over at third, 2 down in the inning, and the batter will be the cleanup hitter, Max Carter. Carter's had a nice night at the plate. He's 2 for 3. Had a RBI base hit to open up the scoring in that 4th inning where Bakersfield scored 5 runs last time up. A ground ball base hit to right field off the bat of Carter, who's 2 for 3. First one from Colin misses, 1-0 the count. Carter, the senior, bats from the right-hand side. The 1-0 pitch on the way. Check swing, no appeal. Now they'll appeal down to first. And no swing. 2-0 the count. There's the 2-0 pitch on the way. Fastball runs inside. Almost got a piece of him. Carter got out of the way. And the count at 3 balls and no strikes. If Carter can extend the inning, Ryan Grotjohn stands in the on-deck circle. Here's the 3-0 pitch. Fastball, outside corner. 3-1. Pena, the runner at third. 2 down here in the top of the 7th. 5-3. The Roadrunners on top. 3-1 pitch. Waved at and missed. The count now full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. 3-2 the count. Cullen working out of the stretch. Payoff pitch on the way. Hit out towards center field. McKenna going back. He's got a beat on it. He'll make the catch, and that will end the inning. Stretch time at Baggett Stadium. 5-3. CSU Bakersfield on top. Bottom half of the 7th inning is up next. You're listening to Mustangs Baseball from Learfield. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-3. CSU Bakersfield on top. The Mustangs in their 2017 home opener looking to snap a 3-game skid. At one point trailed 5-0, but since then they've scored 3 unanswered runs. New pitcher for the Roadrunners, and it's the third that Cal State Bakersfield, CSU Bakersfield rather, has used tonight. Kenny Johnson, the true freshman from Lancaster, went to Lancaster High School. This is his 7th appearance of the season already. He's pitched in 9 1/3 innings this year, an ERA of 3.72. Last year, as a senior at Lancaster High School, posted an ERA below 1 at .65. So he figures to be a dominant right-hander throughout his collegiate career as well. And he's gotten off to a nice start, ERA under 4. This is his 7th appearance as a true freshman. His first pitch is in there for strike 1. (5-3), the Roadrunners on top. Next pitch on the way. Fastball off the plate, 1-1 the count. Sanderson, Benning, and Beasley, 8, 9, and 1 due up for the Mustangs here in the 7th. Oh, 1 pitch, runs inside and gets a piece of Sanderson. So the senior aboard via the hit by pitch. And the Mustangs have their leadoff man aboard here in the bottom of the 7th inning. The batter will be the senior Brett Benning. Benning in his first plate appearance executed on a sacrifice bunt back to the pitcher. At the time, it was Isaiah Moten, the sophomore right-hander, on the mound. Moten, if Bakersfield can hold on to this lead, would be the pitcher of record and pick up the win. Right-hander against right-hander. Benning not showing bunt and takes the pitch in at the knees for a strike. Well, for those of you listening online or on our flagship station, AM 1280, The Ticket, we will send you down to the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach for the Big West Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. Cal Poly Women's Basketball taking on the Hawaii Rainbow Wahine in round 1 of the Big West Conference Tournament. Do or die for Mustangs Lady Basketball tonight down in Long Beach. Max Melander will have the call for you in that one, so we'll join him after the bottom half of the 7th. If you want to continue to follow this game, you can log on to bigwest.tv and follow this one via our video stream the rest of the way. As the 0-1 pitch on Benning runs inside. He was showing bunt, pulled it back, 1-1 the count. Once again, Those of you listening online or on our flagship station, AM 1280, The Ticket, you can follow the rest of this game on bigwest.tv. Video stream only the rest of the way. After this half inning, runner going, ground ball, base hit into left field. Sanderson takes a big turn around second and stops there. Binning's first hit of the night. 2 on, nobody out, and back to the top of the order we go. Bradley Beasley will be the batter. So Kenny Johnson, the true freshman who just entered for the Roadrunners here in the top of the 7th, has been unable to retire each of the first 2 batters he's faced. Hit Michael Sanderson, and now the base hit to left field off the bat of Brett Binning. A couple of seniors trying to get it started, something started for this Mustang offense in the bottom of the 7th. Corners playing in. Beasley, the true freshman at the plate. And now the right-hander Johnson steps off. Bradley Beasley 0 for 2 tonight, was hit by a pitch back in the bottom of the first. Right-hander against right-hander. Beasley shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a fastball high and outside for ball 1. Both corner infielders crashing in on the delivery from Johnson, anticipating the sacrifice bunt attempt from Bradley Beasley. He shows bunt, pulls back, and takes ball 2. Fastball high. 2-0 the count. Sanderson, the senior, at second. Binning, who just singled to left, over at first. And here comes Jeremy Beard. It's always tough when Beard comes out of the dugout. He serves as both the head coach and the pitching coach for CSU Bakersfield. If he makes a pitching change here, we're going to send it down to Long Beach for the Big West Conference Women's Basketball Tournament, and I think we're going to do that right now. So if you want to continue to follow the action, log on to bigwest.tv or gopoly.com if you're not all that tech savvy. Folks over there will help you figure that one out. 5-3 CSU Bakersfield on top. The Mustangs threatening with 2 on and nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Johnson will stay on the mound. We'll send you down to Max Melander after this in Long Beach. You've been listening to Mustangs Baseball from Learfield. And for those of you watching on bigwest.tv, 2-0 on Bradley Beasley. 2 on, nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. 5-3, CSU Bakersfield on top. Right-hander against right-hander. Next pitch on the way. Beasley gets down the bunt. It's a good one. Barehanded by the pitcher Johnson. He's not going to have a play. Johnson, the right-hander, had to go towards the third base side to barehand that one, and as he picked it up, he stumbled. Beasley, who runs extremely well down the first base line, even with a perfect throw, wouldn't have gotten him. And they're loaded with nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th for Josh George, the junior. So the Mustangs have something brewing. Bases loaded, nobody out, 5-3 Bakersfield. A base hit could tie us up at 5. George 1 for 3 tonight. Singled to left field his last time up. Here's the first pitch. Off speed. Missed inside, 1-0. Sanderson at third. Binning the runner at second. Beasley over at first. Nobody out in the bottom of the 7th. Johnson, the right-hander, comes set at the belt. And the 1-0 pitch on the way. In there for a strike on the outside corner. Delayed call made by Scott Jones, the home plate umpire, to the chagrin of the Mustang faithful able to make their way out to the ballpark tonight for Cal Poly's home opener. 1-1 the count. And Johnson steps off. With a right-hander, the way he stares in at the sign from his catcher Ortega, that of Jonathan Papelbon from years back. 1-1 pitch on the way, lined foul. Down the right field side. Johnson jumps ahead, the count at a ball and 2 strikes. George at the plate, bases loaded, nobody out. Bottom of the 7th inning, 5-3. Bakersfield on top. 1-2 pitch on the way, popped foul. That one will get back and out of play near the Mustang bullpen down the left field side. And Johnson will come to the plate again with the count at 1-2 on Josh George. Bakersfield, once upon a time, led 5-0. As time is called. Looks like that baseball got loose on the field down in the left field quarter in foul territory. Went off the roof of the batting cages down there in left field. The old Al Montna hitting facility. One and two, the count on George. Next pitch on the way, popped in the air, foul. This one out of play down the right field side. One and two, the count. Bases full of Mustangs. Nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. Here comes the 1-2 pitch on the way. Ground ball, base hit in the left field. From third base comes Sanderson. Bobbling it is Grotjohn. The game will be tied at 5. Benning scores from second, and George comes through with a 2 RBI base hit. So the Stangs get to the freshman Johnson and tie the game at 5. Now looking for the lead. 2 on, nobody out, and here's Alex McKenna. It took a while to get the bats going, but Cal Poly has scored 5 unanswered to tie it. Now Beasley at second, George at first, still nobody out. Bottom of the 7th inning. Cal Poly got 1 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th, and now 2 here in the 7th. Looking for more, looking for their first lead of the night. Right-hander against right-hander. McKenna 1 for 2 tonight, walked in his last plate appearance. Here's the first one from Johnson. He shows bunt, pulls back, and takes strike 1. Nothing and 1 the count. This inning began with a hit by pitch. Michael Sanderson, the senior, led it off, was hit by a breaking ball that got away from the right-hander Johnson in his first inning of work. He's come in and has yet to record an out. Nothing and 1 the count. Johnson, the right-hander, comes set at the belt. Both corner infielders playing in. McKenna shows bunt, pulls back, and the breaking ball is way outside, 1 and 1. Beasley with really good speed stands over at second, would score on just about any base hit into the outfield. Josh George over at first. He just tied the game with a 2 RBI single to left. Corner infielders in once again. McKenna shows bunt, pulls back, rolls it to short. Kono to second for one, and it's dropped by Metzger. Everybody safe. McKenna aboard at first. That'll be the second error of the night.
Second baseman Kyle Marincon.
Charge to the Roadrunners of Cal State Bakersfield. I'd have to imagine it wasn't a bad throw made by Kono, the shortstop. Metzger commits the error. And now the base is loaded once again. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the seventh. A 5-5 tie between Bakersfield and Cal Poly. The batter is Kyle Marincons. In the cleanup spot tonight, the sophomore second baseman who bats from the left-hand side, cuts through the first offering and misses it. Johnson jumps ahead, 0-1. Marincons 1 for 3, an RBI base hit back in the fourth inning to put the Mustangs on the board. Now a chance to give the Mustangs the lead here in the home half of the seventh. Here's the 0-1 pitch in the dirt. Gets by the catcher Ortega. Coming from third and scoring is Beasley. And so the Mustangs have their first lead of the night at 6-5 Cal Poly. George moves over to third, McKenna to second. Third run of the inning that the Mustangs have scored. They count 1-1 on Marincons, and Jeremy Beard, the interim head coach, is out to check on his catcher, Ortega. Who might have taken that baseball to an unpleasant place that time. Ortega's okay. Beard returns to the Bakersfield dugout. 6-5, the Mustangs with their first lead of the night here in the bottom of the seventh. George at third, McKenna at second. Bakersfield has brought the infield in. Now the Mustangs looking to add on to their lead. Who saw this coming? The 1-1 pitch on the way. Fastball high, 2-1. Marincons at the plate. Kenny Johnson, the right-hander, the true freshman from Lancaster, is yet to record an out. He continues to struggle. Time is called. Now Johnson comes set. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way in the dirt. That time Ortega able to keep it in front of him. Both base runners stay put. But now the count at 3 balls and 1 strike. Three and 1 on Marincons. Nick Myers on deck. Johnson ready. Here's the 3-1 pitch to the backstop. Ball 4. Here comes George. He's going to score easily. 7-5 Cal Poly. That'll probably be it for Johnson. Here comes Jeremy Beard on his way out to the mound. He makes the signal to the bullpen. We will have a pitching change. The Mustangs have pushed across 4 here in the home half of the seventh. They have them on the corners with nobody down. A pitching change for the Roadrunners. 7-5. Cal Poly with their first lead of tonight's contest. We don't have any commercials for you because we're not broadcasting anymore via our flagship station or through Learfield. We were cut short tonight to send folks listening here in San Luis Obispo County and on the Mustang Sport Network down to the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach for the Big West Conference Women's Basketball Tournament. Cal Poly women's basketball. That game will get underway in about 10 minutes from now. We'll be sure to shoot you score updates from that one. Appreciate you, those of you who stayed with us tonight on BigWest.tv. Chris Sylvester here with you. Tyler Spradling has done a nice job at assisting tonight. Coming up from the streets of Seal Beach, California for tonight's contest. Sergio Robles, Nathan Dewsnap will be the new pitcher for CSU Bakersfield. Eric Burdick, the legendary SID, wants to get on air. What's that, Eric? We don't have any commercials. We're not on the air?
No, you're on the air.
I'm on the air.
You can turn it down for a moment.
All right, we're gonna step aside. We'll be back. Seven 5, the Mustangs lead Cal State Bakersfield. Here in the home half of the 7th inning, Cal Poly has taken their first lead of the night. They've pushed across 4 here in the home half of the 7th. And the new pitcher for CSU Bakersfield just lost his hat as the wind is picked up here in San Luis Obispo. Nathan Dewsnap, the junior, is appearing in his 7th game. Through 6 appearances, has an ERA of 3.72. A transfer from Chaffey College down in Rancho Cucamonga, where a season ago he went 0-1 with a 5.89 ERA, the old fake-to-third, fake-to-first move that is no longer legal at the professional level. No pickoff toss. Corners are playing in here for Bakersfield with the middle infielders back. Dewsnap, the submariner. Right-hander comes set, and the first one to Meyer is off the plate for a ball. Meyer 1 for 3 tonight. Singled his last time up in the 6th. McKenna, the runner, over at third. Marin Kahns at first. Another good old fake to third, fake to first. Well, Cal Poly has scored 7 unanswered runs since Bakersfield put up 5 in the top half of the 4th. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way, on the outside corner for a strike, 1-1. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the 7th. We've had a few of these extremely long innings with the pitching changes and the long at-bats as the 1-1 pitch sails off the plate. 2 balls and 1 strike. Up next for Cal Poly, a 3-game set with the Lions of Loyola Marymount out of the West Coast Conference beginning on Friday night. Another fake to third, fake to first move put on by Dewsnap. Third time he's done it. He's gone fake to third, fake to first as much as he's gone to the plate since coming in. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Meyer. Outside, runner takes off for second. Marin Kahns is in there safely. McKenna stays put at third. The Mustangs avoid the ground ball double play possibility as Marin Kahns moves up 90 feet. 2 in scoring position. Still nobody out. And the count 3-1 on Nick Meyer. Right-hander against right-hander. Dewsnap, the junior, steps off. Now he comes set. Here's the 3-1 pitch on the way. Lifted out towards shallow right center field. Moving over is Pena. He'll catch it. McKenna tags from third. Here comes the throw to the plate. It's cut off by the first baseman Carter. It's a sacrifice fly off the bat of Nick Meyer. His 7th run batted in this season. It's 8-5 Cal Poly. And finally, one down here in the home half of the 7th inning. The batter will be Kevin Morgan. Morgan, the starting left fielder tonight, 0 for 3. Lined out to grounded out to first, and flew out to left. Here's the first one from Deuce Snap, a pitch that misses just off the plate. 1-0 the count. Next pitch on the way, in there for a strike. 1-1 the count. Here comes the 1-1 from Deuce Snap. Off the end of the bat, out towards shallow left field. This will be a tough play for the shortstop, Kono. He almost overran it, but able to make the catch for out number 2. Marin Khan's, the sophomore, stays put at second. 2 outs in the inning, and we'll have a pinch hitter. Elijah Skips, the junior, transfer from Cypress College down in Orange County. He began his career at the University of Arizona. Had been for the majority of the year leading up to tonight's contest, hitting in the cleanup spot for Larry Lee. Switch hitter from the left-hand side. Digs in for his first at-bat of the night. Skips at 212 on the year. Off to a slow start, just 1 RBI. Pickoff toss to second. Rolls into center field. Marin Khan's to third. It goes under the glove of Pena. Marin Khan's to the plate. He's going to score. Now that's the type of inning it's been for Cal State Bakersfield. The Mustangs get another, their 6th run of the inning. And that one comes on the error made by Deuce Snap, the pitcher. And another error you'd have to think might potentially be charged to Pena, the center fielder, who had that one roll under his glove. And that's what they'll rule it officially here. So 2 errors on a play where a pitch wasn't even thrown. First one on Skips, high and outside, 1-0. (9-5) Mustangs. 9 unanswered runs scored by Cal Poly. Here's the 1-0 pitch on the way. Skips takes a fastball on the inside corner for strike 1. Bases empty, 2 down. There's the 1-1 on Skips. That one catches the outside corner, 1-2. This is a battle of 2 guys that came from the junior college ranks. Deuce Snap from Chaffey College. Skips from Cypress College. Here's the 1-2 pitch on the way. Line down the left field side. Chasing is Grotjan. He's not going to get there. That one rolls all the way into the corner. Skips on his way to second. He'll stop there with a 2-out double. Skip's second double of the year. A pinch hit double off the bat of the junior. That'll extend the inning. The batter will be Michael Sanderson, and Sanderson's the one that got it started for the Mustangs here in the bottom of the 7th as he was hit by a pitch against Kenny Johnson. And I believe the book is now closed on Johnson. We'll get you his final numbers in just a moment. Sanderson 1 for 2 tonight, his 4th plate appearance. Right-hander against right-hander. First one on the corner for a strike. Skips, who just doubled the other way, stands at second. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. 9-5 Stangs. 0-1 pitch on the way. Popped up off the end of the bat, chasing Carter. He'll watch it land in the Bakersfield bullpen down the right field side. 0-2 the count. Boy, Kenny Johnson, true freshman, did not record an out. Gave up 6 runs, 4 earned, 3 hits, and walked a batter. His ERA was under 4 entering tonight's contest. It will surely balloon up after this one's all said and done. 0-2 the count on Sanderson. 0-2 pitch on the way. Off the plate. 1-2 the count. That Cal Poly women's basketball game in the Big West Conference Tournament just about set to get underway. We're following that one. It's being streamed live. 1-2 pitch on the way. Cut on and missed, strike 3. Sanderson goes down swinging, but boy, what an inning for the Mustangs. They push across 6 and have their first lead of the night, 9-5. Cal Poly leads CSU Bakersfield as we head to the top of the 8th. We'll be back after this. (9-5). Cal Poly leads Cal State Bakersfield as we head to the top of the 8th inning. The Mustangs scoring 6 times in the home half of the 7th. Kyle Smith, the new pitcher for the Stangs. Southpaw now working out of the bullpen, was in the starting rotation, the weekend rotation for Larry Lee at the beginning portion of the season. But after a couple of appearances in which Smith struggled in, he's been reduced to a bullpen role. That one of a few changes that the Mustangs made defensively in between innings. Elijah Skips, who pinch hit, is the new first baseman. Grotjohn at the plate. The count now 2-2. Colby Barrick The transfer from Allen Hancock College in Santa Maria is the new right fielder. Josh George, who was in right, moves over to left. Kevin Morgan is out of the ball game. 2-2 pitch on the way, and it's in there. Got him looking. Strike 3. There's the first out of the top of the 8th. We can treat this one more like a TV style type of telecast now, if you will, since we're no longer audio only. As we'll welcome in the second member of our crew. We don't have one. Tyler Kame, the designated hitter, now at the plate. 1-0 pitch from Smith in there for a strike. Smith, the 5'10 junior from Torrance, went to Torrance High School. Pitched in 15 games last year. 14 of those were starts, as the next one's cut on and missed. Came 0 for 3 tonight. Reached on an error back in the 4th. 1-2 pitch on the way. Cut on and missed. Strike 3. So Smith has come out of the bullpen and struck out the first 2 batters he's faced. They're in the top of the 8th. And Cole Valletta will be the next batter.
Right fielder, Cole Valletta.
Smith certainly hoping in this new bullpen role to find his command once again and find the success that he had last season as he blows the first one by Valletta, 0-1 the count. He's looked sharp through the first 2 batters he's faced. 0-1 on the corner, 0-2. Looking for a 1-2-3 frame here in the top of the 8th. 0-2 pitch. Popped in the air, foul territory. Skips will give it a look, but it's backing out of play. Count will remain at 0-2. 9-5 Stangs here in the top of the 8th. There's the 0-2 from Smith. That one misses low. 1-2 the count. Smith's 1-2 pitch. Fastball inside, 2-2. Two pitch on the way, grounded towards third, stopped by Sanderson. He'll pick it up, throw across the diamond to Skips. He keeps his foot on the bag, and it's a 1-2-3 top of the 8th for the junior Kyle Smith. Bottom half of the inning upcoming, 9-5 Stangs. We'll be back. Brett Binning, the senior, will lead off the bottom of the 8th inning for the Mustangs. Nathan Dewsnap back out there for his second inning of work, and that one runs inside and hits Binning. Third time a Bakersfield pitcher has hit a Mustang hitter tonight. Perhaps some Central California bad blood between the teams. Not really. First time that Bakersfield has seen Cal Poly since last season. The Mustangs won both against the Roadrunners a season ago, a 6-4 win on the road and an 8-4 win here at Baggett Stadium a season ago. First one on Beasley is cut on and missed as the wind picks up here and shuffles away some of our papers. First one to Beasley was swung on and missed, 0-1. Oh boy, you hear those. Oh, one pitch on the outside corner, 0-2. Dewsnap ready, 0-2 pitch. That one sails off the plate. 1-2 the count. Beasley tonight 1 for 3. He was 1 of 3 Cal Poly Stangs hit by a pitch tonight. These two teams will meet up again on April the 11th in Bakersfield. 1-2 pitch misses off the plate. 2 balls, 2 strikes the count. Quick pickoff toss over to first. This is one of the very few Division I collegiate baseball teams that are less than a decade into existence. Cal State Bakersfield's baseball program was founded in 2009. 2-2 pitch swung on and missed for strike 3. So Beasley is out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th. Josh George coming to the plate. And, well, 6 years in, CSU Bakersfield won the Western Athletic Conference tournament in 2015 and made an NCAA regional appearance that year down in Los Angeles. Won a game against Ole Miss out of the SEC. After struggling last year, obviously there's been some turmoil with the constant coaching changes in each of the last 2 off seasons. Bill Kernan retired after the 2015 season, and Bob Macaluso was fired just 2 months prior to the start of this season back in December. Right now, Jeremy Beard, the interim manager for Bakersfield, and well, off to an 8-3 start. If they can't come on back in this one and score at least 4 in the top of the 9th, they'd fall to 8-4, but still a very respectable record. 12 games into the season. Preseason pick to finish 6th in the Western Athletic Conference. Seattle the favorite. An opportunity for sure with the talent this team has up and down the lineup to put up runs with the best of them in that conference. 0-2 pitch off the inner portion of the bat out towards shallow left. Kono onto the outfield grass. The shortstop makes the catch. And that'll be out number 2. Alex McKenna, the batter. He reached on an error his last time up, came around to score in that 6-run 7th inning. No action in the Mustang bullpen, so you'd have to assume Kyle Smith will go back out there to try and finish off the Roadrunners in the top of the 9th, as the first one to McKenna is on the inside corner for a strike. An early deficit for Cal Poly women's basketball down in Long Beach in the first round of the Big West Conference women's tournament. 13-6 Hawaii on top with 3 minutes left to play in the first quarter of that one. The count 1-1 on McKenna. Next pitch on the way is popped in the air, foul and out of play. over near Bob Jansen Field, the softball field, directly adjacent to Baggett Stadium. How about Cal Poly softball able to go undefeated in the Share Slow Classic this past weekend, sweeping a pair of doubleheaders, and then the 2 final games were rained out yesterday. 1-2 pitch off the plate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Boy, Sierra Highland, senior for the Mustangs, has had a remarkable year already. Already a no-hitter and a perfect game. And continues to dominate hitters in 2017. That one's popped up right side of the infield. Calling and catching is Metzger, the second baseman. And that'll be the final out here in the 8th. Nothing across for the Stangs. Top of the 9th next. 9-5. Cal Poly will look to close out the Roadrunners when we return. The junior left-hander Kyle Smith, who retired the side in order in the 8th inning, back out there for the 9th, looking to snap the 3-game losing streak that the Mustangs are currently on after getting swept down at San Diego State this past weekend. A pinch hitter for CSU Bakersfield. Pinch hitting for the catcher Jake Ortega. Andrew Penner, the junior. Transfer from LA Valley College, where he hit .379 a season ago. That's from the right-hand side. First one from Smith is on the corner for a strike. He's off to a nice start at Bakersfield, hitting .345 with a couple of RBIs. That's the first one from Smith, misses low. 1-1 the count. Penner's father, Dan, played baseball at the University of Hawaii and was drafted twice. The Mustangs will host the Rainbow Warriors once conference play begins in April. And Andrew's head coach at Fraser Mountain High School was his father, Dan, where they won a CIF championship. 2-1 pitch in there for a strike. 2-2 the count. Next pitch on the way. Penner stays alive and fouls that one out of play. 2-2 the count. There's the 2-2 from Smith. Fouled out of play once again. Two. Line towards the middle. That'll get into center field for a leadoff base hit. So Penner continues to rake at the plate early on in the year.
Another pinch hitter, 16.
Have another pinch hitter here for CSU Bakersfield. Pinch runner over at first base is Christian Deaton, the junior.
Your attention, please. Pinch hitting for number 24, Heinrich. Number 16, Luis Martinez.
Luis Martinez will pinch hit.
Number 1, Christian Deaton.
So the Roadrunners, who trail by 4 here in the 9th, emptying the bench. First pitch swinging. Martinez fouls that one back to the screen. 0-1. No, be sure to tune in to Cal Poly women's basketball on our flagship station. 1280 ESPN The Ticket on our way back down south as the 0-1 pitch is cut on and missed. 0-2 the count. Smith jumps way ahead. The 0-2 pitch on the way, popped in the air foul. Skips and Meyer give it a look and watch it hit the bleachers in foul territory, out of play. Nothing and 2 the count on the pinch hitter, Luis Martinez. 0-2 pitch is cut on and missed, strike 3. Third strikeout for Kyle Smith. 1 down here in the top of the 9th. And the batter will be Mark Pena. We'd like to invite you to join us on Thursday on our flagship station, ESPN 1280, The Ticket. And, of course, audio-wise on GoPoly.com for the quarterfinal round of the Big West Conference men's tournament down at the Honda Center in Anaheim. The Mustangs, the 7 seed, just as they were in 2014 when they won the conference tournament and went to their first ever NCAA tournament as a Division I program. They'll be taking on the 2 seed, UC Davis. Both teams coming off of disappointing losses to close out the regular season. Davis lost by 30 at Irvine in a game that decided the conference regular season crown. And the Mustangs lost by 13 on senior night to Santa Barbara. Sound familiar? Back in 2014, the Mustangs lost by 16 on senior night to Santa Barbara. Turned around and won 3 games in 3 days in Anaheim. Ridge Shipley yesterday named to second team All Big West, the senior who is now top 6 in school history, top 7 rather in school history in assists. Hit the big shot, heard around San Luis Obispo, the game-winning 3 against Cal State Northridge in 2014. And, well, his last go-around in the Big West Conference tournament, you better believe him alongside the other 2 seniors, Kyle Toth and Zach Gordon, will make this a special run for the Stangs. A noon tip-off in that one, 11:45 pregame. 2-2 the count on Pena. 1 on, 1 out. Mustangs looking to complete the comeback. They trailed at one point 5-0. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Line foul and out of play. Deaton, the pinch runner, over at first. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Martinez. Smith taking a lot of time out there with the runner on first. Now comes set at the letters. 2-2 pitch on the way. Rolled foul over by the CSU Bakersfield dugout on the first base side here at Baggett. And the count evened up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's the 2-2 again from Smith. Line drive, fair. Down the left field line into the corner. Being waved home all the way from first is Deaton. On his way to third, Martinez. Throw there, gets away from Sanderson. It's an RBI triple. And hold your Mustangs. It's 9-6 Cal Poly. Second triple of the night for CSU Bakersfield. And the first run against Kyle Smith, as we'll have another pinch hitter here for CSU Bakersfield. Nobody has a 38 in the press box. Is that a 36? That's a 38 at the plate. 38 was not on the active roster presented to us before the game, and Larry Lee wants an explanation. Now he's going to go out to the mound to talk to his left-hander. Tough to see from our vantage point here at Baggett if there's anybody warming up in the bullpen.
Can you send someone down to their dugout and ask them who number 38 is so we don't have them on our roster? Please. Anybody free, available?
And we will have a pitching change. Looks like Slater Lee's going to come in to try and close it out. We'll step aside. 9-6, the Mustangs trying to close out the Roadrunners here in the 9th at Baggett. Well, we figured out who number 38 was. Sergio Robles, the sophomore outfielder, pinch hitting. Usually wears number 22. Forgot the 22 jersey in Bakersfield, so he threw on the 38 tonight. Slater Lee is the new pitcher for the Mustangs. Looking to close this one out as the first pitch into Robles is a strike. Or so they say. It's Sergio Robles. Of course, this date in history will always be known as the Mustangs' home opener, but perhaps a news story, the mystery at Baggett. 0-1 pitch misses off the plate, 1-1 the count. Next one from Lee is a pitch that misses off the plate. This is Slater Lee's 6th appearance on the year. He's 1-0 with an ERA of 3.18 in 11 1/3 innings of work. 2-1 pitch on the way. Off the end of the bat, rolled towards first. Skips will flip it to Lee. That's out number 2. Martinez scores from third. That'll close the book on Kyle Smith. 2 outs in the inning. Roadrunners down to their final out of the night. And the batter will be David Metzger.
Second baseman, David Metzger.
So Metzger, the final hope for the Roadrunners to keep it alive.
I also did this
First one from Lee. Fastball in there for a strike. Bakersfield led 5-0 after 3.5 frames. The Mustangs scored 9 unanswered, lead 9-7 at the moment, with 2 outs and the bases empty here in the top of the 9th. Next one on the way from the right-hander. Lee misses low. 1-1 the count. Here's the 1-1 pitch, chopped foul towards the CSU Bakersfield dugout. And now the Roadrunners down to their final strike of the night. Cal Poly looking to move to 3-9 on the year. Right-hander against right-hander. Lee coming out of the windup. The 1-2 pitch on the way is popped foul and out of play. Boy, the wind really picks up here in San Luis Obispo at night. Doesn't Bakersfield as well. 1-2 the count. There's the 1-2 pitch from Lee. Fastball low and outside. 2-2. Don't look now. But Carter, the cleanup hitter, is on deck. If Metzger can get on, Carter, who stands on deck, would represent the tying run. It's already been a long night. This one over the 3-hour mark. 2-2 pitch on the way. Lined out towards left center field. Chasing is George. He's got a beat on it. He'll catch it. And that will do it. The Mustangs win their 2017 home opener over CSU Bakersfield by a final of 9-7. Cal Poly picks up win number 3 here in 2017. They're 3-9 on the year. Cal State Bakersfield is now 8-4 on the season. Slater Lee gets the save, first one of the year. So now in all 3 victories, the Mustangs have had a pitcher come in and record a save. And the win out of the bullpen to Craig Colin, his first of the season. Cal Poly will next be in action on Saturday when they welcome in LMU for a 3-game set. First pitch in that one is slated for 6:05. That's all we have for you tonight from Baggett Stadium. For Tyler Spradling and Alex Klepper, my name's Chris Sylvester, reminding you once again the final score, Cal Poly 9, CSU Bakersfield 7. Ride high, Mustangs, and good night.